Hi everyone, I'm Devika Rangachari and I'm here to talk to you about my latest book from Penguin India under the Duckbill imprint. It's called Queen of Fire. This is the story of Queen Laxmibai or Jhansi, whose clash with the British in the 19th century has been very well documented. This book forms part of the Queen series that I have written. The first book in the series is called Queen of Ice, and it's a story of Didda who ruled Kashmir in the 10th century in a very powerful and assured manner, but who had to face a lot of problems, both stemming from the male hostility towards her, and as well as some physical problems that she had to deal with, but maintain herself on the throne for a very long period despite that. The second book in the series is called Queen of Earth, which is a story of Prithvi Mahadevi, who ruled the Bhaumakara dynasty of Orissa in the 9th century. And again, she had to face a lot of problems to maintain her hold on the throne while she was ruling over a hostile populace. Queen Lakshmibai's story is, of course, very well known, very popular, and her bravery has been consistently lauded. But in this book, I have chosen to focus on two aspects that are not very well known about her. One is her relationship with her adopted son, Damodar. Her own child had died in infancy, and she had adopted this little boy as her heir to the throne. And the British were, of course, trying to deny the whole adoption. And she had to stand her ground to fight for her son's inheritance. Now, nobody really talks about the fears and the whole adjustment process which this boy had to undergo when he moved to the palace to be her son, and of course the whole looming threat of the British and how he had to deal with that and how he formed a relationship with his mother. So that's one of the important aspects of the story. The other important aspect is her own thoughts. And now everyone expected Queen Lakshmibai to lead them to victory and to somehow pull off Jhansi's triumph against the British. And although her courage never flagged for an instant, she still had a lot of doubts. She was in a very difficult situation. She had to somehow fight her way to a solution that was acceptable to all. And she also had to do this while surrounded by men who, had their own doubts about a woman's ability to lead them, and whether she would be able to actually pull off this whole victory against the British. So these are the two main aspects that I have focused on, and in all the three books of the Queen series, I have focused on women who are remarkable in history for having followed their ambitions and having left an incredibly permanent mark on the landscape, and whose contributions are ironically not known because the writing of history is male centered, and the history that you read is actually his story. So these women, at least in the case of Didda and Prithvi Mahadevi, both these women have been virtually wiped out of history. They are invisible. And so I wanted to put them back into the narrative so that my readers could understand a part of their history, that very important part that had been left out, because the writing of history is so male centered. And of course, as I said, even though Rani Lakshmibai's story is very well known, I wanted to focus on some little known aspects of her life. And I hope you all get to read Queen of Fire and enjoy. Thank you.